everybody. It's Miss Jen, and you've joined us for Mustache You Question, which is a really unique idea. I don't think anyone else is doing this in the industry, where we're taking opportunities to get 2 points of view. One from the publisher side, so you can kind of understand what that looks like from the other side of like the go behind the veil and peek at what that looks like. That's usually James Hake from Scout, and from me, Jen King. I own a comic book store, so from the retailer point of view, what it looks like and how we work together to actually make sure that all the books that you might like end up on the rack and that we have all the knowledge we need to know to be able to tell you all about them. So today we've got a little bit of change. Usually it's James, but today we get a super special thing. We get to talk to the head of one of their awesome imprints, Scoot. This is Richard Rivera.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, look, I said all those words.
Yeah. Well, words are good. Excited to be here.
Do you ever get off of a live show and say to yourself, did I actually do that?
I don't do too many live shows. This is one of those rare times, and for the most part, I just enjoy the conversation and try to treat it just like that.
I know for me. It's a little bit different when I get to talk to you or James. It's totally interview time, but also I do kind of feel like it's us getting to hang out, and it's kind of the virtual version of getting together at the hotel bar at the end of a convention day.
Right.
And getting to hang out with the people that you like to. So there's just no drinks.
Speak for yourself. No.
Well, Scooty Scoutations, that's awesome. We need to make sure it's
fellow Scooties. Scooty. Yes. Well, hey, Matt and Steph, how are you guys doing?
And I say we've got Cool Gamer. Cool Gamer is a regular watcher and comes on immediately. So hey, Cool.
Hi, Cool Gamer.
All right. So there's lots of cool things that are going on with you specifically that are kind of more, I don't know, it is Scout related, but this is kind of a cool opportunity for people to jump in and get things ahead of most of the market. And if they don't jump in, then they're gonna have to wait a long time to really get them. So walk everybody through what you're doing. What's the exciting thing you're doing right now?
Right now, we are in day two of the Stabbity Bunny Kickstarter. And I must say we've been really, really thrilled. It's the first official Scout Comics Kickstarter, and we've been really thrilled with the people who have backed us and just the reception of it in general. We funded in 4 hours, and since then now we've already had our first stretch goal achieved, and we're moving on to the other ones. There's a lot of stuff planned, and really along with getting volume 2. Volume 2, we'll be shipping that out in September. But with volume 2, we've got finally have that long awaited, and we had so many things happen with our creative team, but we were determined to stick together. So the same creative team has made it through all 12 issues plus Emmett's story. But volume 2 has issue 12. It completes that first story arc, and the actual volume 2 won't be out until April of next year, but we'll be shipping these out in September. Issue 12 is a single issue. Will be out. It'll be in Diamond previews for the month of October. But along with that, we've got some really unique opportunities. Not only do we have the Ralph Singh cover, and he absolutely slayed it for commemorative issue of issue 1. We've got that. We have that regular cover, which is amazing, but incredibly stunning. We've got a metal version of that cover coming out, limited just to 50.
Now, so there's been a while since I've read my 1 through 11. Is that a new character? I don't remember that character.
It's a new interpretation of the entity that, spoiler alert, of the entity that we have seen before that's involved with the bunny. One of the other things we've got that is completely unique, one of one. I have to show you one from Agent of World, because that is, we actually have to have the thing printed before we'll have them. But these are aluminum. These are the printer plates used to make the books. So, as you know, each book with the four four color process has CMYK. So you got the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And this happens to be one of the yellow plates, which looks a little greenish, but yellow with a little bit of little transfer there of the cyan, etc. But these are the printer plates. So there's only one yellow of this page that exists, and we're going to take the printing plates from the volume 2 and make them into Pressworks. So we've got those pretty much at random right now, because it would be as you can imagine, kind of a nightmare with 168 pages, four per page, and then trying to people, to have people select them. But we did break it down to where you've got splash pages like this one. A splash page, as everyone knows, but just in case, is like a single, a full page illustration. We've got that and the chapter breaks, which are going to represent the covers. So you're going to actually have a chance to own printer plates of Stabbity Bunny covers, along with everything else that's in the Kickstarter. Plus, we've got a number of other things in our add-on section, and we'll be continuing to add on to that add-on section. One of the things that might be showing up there soon is a little chocolate bunny mocha coffee, delicious, along with the metal cover. So we're going to put out a select number of sets. We think we're going to release, because they are individually numbered, that 100 metal cover print run. We're going to release numbers 2 through 11 as add-ons on the Kickstarter. So that's
the early numbers. So I have a question for you, and people will want to ask. Is when you back the Kickstarter, is that related at all to the coolness of the like the metal plate that you might get?
When you back the Kickstarter, you can choose to get one of these metal plates. You can also choose to add on one of the metal plates. So for sure, if you're gonna get one, you don't necessarily know the page number, but you do know if it's going to be a sequential, multi-paneled page or a splash page.
Oh, okay. So that you'll know. Okay.
Absolutely. We even have one set, I think, where you get 1 or 2 splashes and some random pages as well. But I mean, we're going to show our Kickstarter backers a lot of love, and we'll make sure they're all great pages. I mean, what Stabbity Bunny page isn't a great page, right? No.
Honestly, this is extremely exciting because I don't know, and you may know or don't know, whether they even kept the plates for your original runs. So this is your only real opportunity to get these things then.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that they did not. Those were recycled. They were recycled as aluminum scrap. So yeah, I know, right? But James Hake saw this going on and said this must stop, and really came up with the entire idea of Pressworks. And yeah, I mean, not only does he does spend about probably 3 or 4 hours a day in his mustache regime keeping that exactly right, but in his spare time he comes up with great ideas like that.
Yeah, I it's one of those things, like when I heard about that, it kind of felt like a no-brainer. Like, I'm sure everyone else in the industry was like, why are we not doing this? But maybe people just don't know what happens to those, or maybe even don't know the process involved something as cool looking as something metal. Because if you do like t-shirts, that's just like a screen. So maybe you're like, okay, well, what am I gonna do with the screen?
Right. Well,
cool.
I think what happens there is that due to the sheer size of the original printing plate, the number of pages they put on it, it's aluminum, it's heavy, it's sharp. And I believe we inquired with another printer, and to acquire those would have been very cost prohibitive. So it's just one of those unique circumstances where James worked out a deal that made it so we could get these and still put them out at a great price. I think this is kind of like the ground level of this collectible. So I'd be interested to see where they go, because I remember when I was first collecting original art, like I I bought the one of the action pages of Daredevil 158 for $125.
Yeah, those are the days.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying, I while we imply no meteoric rise like that for Pressworks, they are one of a kind collectibles. So we always just encourage people on collectibles like that. Spend what makes sense to you, and if you like it,
Mhm.
for $50 or $70, then by all means get it. And if that seems you know incredibly cheap, then buy a lot. And if that seems too pricey, then that's something you don't enjoy. But overall, there's been a great reception, and we've had a number of people who now have pretty impressive Scout Comics Pressworks collections. I say numbering in the 20s or 30s.
That's incredible. And
Hmm.
the other thing to think about, other than there's just one of them, or actually four, if you think about the four different colors.
Hmm.
Um, what's interesting about collecting them in general is that um, I've been wondering for a while how in the world people that love collecting original art are going to continue on in the digital age, because there's no digital things, right? You can't
Right.
go to someone's computer and buy, other than getting an NFT of something, I suppose. Like,
Hmm.
this is the answer to that, where you can get the original page even if it was made digitally,
Hmm.
and still have a representation of it that's very unique.
Right, absolutely. I mean, um, some people are even wanting to purchase all four of them and kind of do the what we call the Andy Warhol kind of presentation
Mhm.
of those plates. But we have made certificates that come with the Pressworks that say what the print run was, when the print run happened, um, and and uh, uh, and I think for the most part those are put in nice top loaders. I think I might have something here. It gives you an example, but get the nice top loader, and you get the certificate with it as well. In some of our you also get a little plaque there, like a trophy plaque, so you can incorporate that into framing it, um, or leave it exactly as it is, because that fits right into your short box or long box. You can actually use it maybe even as a divider to mark where that series begins.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right, let's talk a little bit about what Scoot's been up to. Um, I will tell you, in my own store, the most successful of the Scoot products has been the readers, the like graded readers, 1, 2, and 3. Those,
Hmm.
I have those like right at eye level on a rack, and parents are really thankful for them. They're really, really cute, and
Oh,
those
thank
are wonderful.
Thank you so much. That was, yeah, that was, you know, Scout got behind that initiative, and it's a little different. They are books. They are identical to the materials used for like a Curious George or that
Mhm.
sort of thing. And in fact, in January, we're expanding that to Simon and Schuster distribution as well. Now, on that particular line, the launch books, you may have noticed with Sabretooth Dan, when that came out, the Sabretooth Dan expanded the type of reader that we're doing.
Mhm.
Sabretooth Dan is a J for Journeys, and Journeys is specifically meant to be a little bit more advanced, but meant to be read with the younger reader, because you're both going to enjoy it at a slightly different level. And um, uh, C. Rivers has done an incredible job. The Sabretooth Dan books are, and there's another one coming out, Versus the Moon. He's working on another one as well. But the Sabretooth Dan books are kind of like being invited to play in somebody's backyard. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
it speaks to the child in all of us. I mean, there's the, zombie gorilla king. There's this, creature, this galaxy-sized creature at the end. It escalates. There's the Batazons. There's the three musketeers. Um, and all of these, get into a battle. It's more like a battle where it's kind of, they meet at the end. It's like, hey, you want to battle again next Saturday? Yeah, let's do that. So it's like it's invited. It's in that way. Um, to me, not that it's like Calvin and Hobbes, but it puts me in
Mhm.
that same headspace. The adventures there, where it's okay to admit that there's still a child in there, and the J's allow you to share that with a child. Um, the other thing that we're coming out with, oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? Boom, there's
Yeah.
Sabretooth Dan. I'll show you a little bit of the artwork inside because it's just amazing. I want you to even just as a computer picture, right? I mean, a
Yeah.
screenshot, it's just incredible. And like I said, there's more of these coming out as well. But the main message I want to get out about launch is that we're completely committed to launch, and we will be coming out with, especially once we start rolling them out with Simon and Schuster, every quarter there will be new contributions to that. You'll probably be happy to hear that there are more Super Cats coming. Uh, Bandit Imagination,
Yeah.
more of those coming. In fact, the next one coming out most immediately, it's already scheduled, would be the Super Cats Halloween special.
Oh, yes.
So that'll be out there, and it's a lot of fun, of course. I mean, all the Super Cats stuff. I think Caleb's done and Angela have done an amazing job with that. That's again pure fun. You can, those books in particular, scoop books in general, that you can, it's family friendly, child safe. You can pick it up, you don't have to flip through it first. I mean, please do, you'll enjoy it too, but you know that the content will be appropriate.
Yeah. So just a peek behind the curtain again for everybody that's watching is when Rich was talking about Simon and Schuster, what he's talking is about the book market. So there's two different kinds of things. There's the direct market, which is comic books, the specialty market kind of thing. And then you have what's called the book market. And that's where you'll see those books show up in like Barnes and Noble and those kinds of like traditional bookstores. And what's awesome about that is that they, hypothetically, since there's way more bookstores than there are comic book stores out there, it's an opportunity for people to be exposed to the medium of comic books or comic book like art and start accepting it as the norm. And so, although it seems like it's competition for comic book stores, it actually helps us because I carried lots of, for example, Dogman in my store because it's something that's familiar to somebody that's a bookstore model person. And so it kind of makes it less scary to come into a comic book store. So it helps make a bridge between the two. So for me, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it too, they also, a lot of them carry the trades, but when you've read that trade and like, oh, I want to read more, there's a long time of delay between the trades. They need those single issues. Where are they going to find them?
Yep.
Right there. You're ready for them, right? So yeah. The other thing I want to mention, that's the next new addition to the launch series, is going to be launch with an I. That the letter I, that's for interactive. And if you remember the choose your own adventure books, we've got a a format where you make decisions throughout the book and it takes you to different parts of the book. It's going to be quick, the Clockwork Knight and the Haunted Tower, and basically early on somebody is taken and he's trying to get up the tower, but if you make the wrong call, you fall back down the tower, back to that first page, you're at the bottom, you go back up and you try to figure out how to get there. And Thane has done a great job of making sure anybody who's new to that there's like a 3 or 4 page introduction that explains exactly how that works, what the little symbols mean when you go to another page, how that works. So yeah, I mean, there's that. We have other stuff coming with launch as well. We have a book in the works that is going to be about a child who Luna, who goes to the art museum and thinks it's going to be boring sitting on the bench. She's waiting for her aunt to get through with an art lesson, and she meets somebody and she sketches something that's there, and there's a moment. But it's about appreciating finding the fun and the magic in art and museums. So we've got that. We're going to do, you remember Jonathan Hedrick's The Space Cadet, and that was a great floppy when it came out. But we're going to take that and make that bigger, and we're going to put in opposing pages that face the one side there that has trivia in it, space trivia, space facts, and actually is educational as well. And it's going to be a larger format book.
When I read that book for the first time, I said, this is literally like the best thing that's ever been made to try to get kids excited about pursuing space as a career. It's like I wanted to go back and be a kid and be like, nope, gonna be an astronaut.
Yep, yep. Well, Jonathan's done a lot with us. So we've got,
Mhm.
obviously, I don't know, something to recount. I think you may have heard of that.
Yeah,
And we've got
Unicorn
some other
City.
books coming out too very soon from Jonathan. They're going to be with, Scout Proper.
Yeah, Josh, that's right. Gotta get the call it normies. I don't know if I call them normies hooked. Really, for us, it's like parents sometimes if it's unknown, they fear it, and it's just like work. It's kind of a normal human thing.
Hmm.
So the more like normalizing we can do for graphic novels and comic books because they are both art and reading, which is what we want to drive people to do is do art and reading. So it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, you think about like the European cultures, think about Japan, etc., and you don't think anything about on a commuter train or something, seeing a 20 something, 30 something, 40 something year old businessman with a graphic novel open and reading that during the commute. So
Yep.
I think everything we can do as both from the retail end to get those products out there to our end of trying to supply you with some of those options, because the original launch, the 1 2 3s, um, they are ostensibly for bridging the gap between picture books and comic books. The first two are all single panel. First two levels are all single panel pages or double page splashes, and then the last one with Caleb and Angela's Super Cats, that has sequential storytelling, but it's very simple. It's either 1 2 or a maximum of 3 panels per page. You know how we can, as after we've gotten used to the medium, we might have something that slides down, comes across. I think sometimes artists, that's a, a challenge to them to figure out some brand new layout. And if you're just starting out, and there's not somebody who's maybe explaining everything to you, it needs to be pretty straightforward to kind of look and get used to that medium. Now, the other thing that we're thinking about doing, Jen, is taking like Super Cats, um, taking Bandit's Imagination, and making those into um, more upper level reader, scoot level comic books as well. So you can
Mm-hmm.
start out with the level one, the level two, the level three readers, but then there'll actually be comic books that you guys can sell as well. And the other thing that we've done, um, that you're aware of, is that everything is evergreen. So it's either an issue one, or it's a trade, or a standalone book. So you don't have to worry about issue two that you got to put in your back issue bins, or what do I do with this? And if something sells really well for you, you can order it forever. If we sell out like with Soulstream, we'll print another 5,000 and get those out there to you. So um, our retail partners, let us know what's working best, and we can even as we have our schedules come out for releases, we can try to emphasize some of that too. We already try to work with you seasonally, etc., but even more so when it comes to Scoot specifically, because we have a really deep bench there, and we've got stuff waiting to come out, and it's just making those decisions, and you guys can be a part of that.
Yeah, I will tell you, just as a reinforcement, I would love to see both Super Cats and or Sweet Puppy as what I call the digest size
Hmm.
because Unicorn and Soulstream have found a really like we sell a lot of those, and I think it's also that same thing that's kind of what the book market's used to. Kids are used to going to the Scholastic book fairs, and that's the size they're used to picking up. So those are I would encourage you guys to continue making those
Yeah.
scale books. It's perfect.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we will. And that's a cool comment, Josh. Yeah, I mean, picture books are like all splash pages, but they're and how do you go from that to the other? Well, maybe books like Launch that you got single panels, but you also have 2 panels or maybe 3, but it starts teaching you how to expect, how to read, and how to navigate a comic book, uh, which was one of the functions of coming out with the Launch line. Um, yeah, the other thing you'll be probably happy to know is one of the things we have talked about with the creators, because when you've got multi creators, royalties and things maybe get a little more complicated as well.
Mhm.
But Super Cats and Bandits Imagination, we are going to be putting some of their stuff together in like activity books and things too. We had the Scoot Frontiers, but the Scoot Frontiers had such a wide range to it, from pre-reader almost up to upper YA. We're going to kind of narrow that down and really concentrate on the kids who love to do the activities. And so it's going to be a going forward more of a more consolidated product, I think.
You wish you had
Yeah.
one for the kid. I agree with that.
You know, it's funny you say that because that's exactly like one of the best compliments we get. And I was thinking about that today. Whenever I said, I wish I had that, this toy or this or that when I was a kid, that's one of the best compliments that we can get. And that's part of the reason that we've come up with it.
All right, so we're getting close to the end of our time, and we usually every week come up with a mustache you a question, and it can be really anything. So do you have a question? So this can be like, what's your favorite or just like whatever kind of question. Do you have an idea for a question you want to just throw out there for the two of us to answer?
Yes. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Oh gosh, that's gonna be so hard.
Or some of them?
No, there's a bunch. So, everybody really, really loves Thundercats, and I did. But for some reason, I have more fond memories of Silverhawks.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, 92 X-Men was amazing, but that was also when I was in college. So I don't know if I can call that my favorite Saturday morning cartoon. Our first store had commercials that we sandwiched between the X-Men and Tick on Saturday. We paid up to get that slot. So I love that also. How about you?
Well, I am older than you, but so I've got even more of them to try to narrow it down. But yeah, I mean, I do remember the Thundercats because they all sounded kind of similar. Thundercats, Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks. So I loved those. I think more to the point to me, because this brings them both together, was that when the next season of Saturday morning cartoons were coming out, the very first place you would find out about it was the comic book. The back of the comic books had ABC's new Saturday morning lineup, and it didn't tell you when they were starting. So I would get that comic book and I'm like, are they starting this Saturday? And then, before the internet, we were dodging pterodactyls and walking to work, pedaling our cars with our feet, but we didn't have other sorts of information to find out. So it's like, when is this coming out? And every Saturday for a couple of months, I'd be like, is this the Saturday? And finally I'd be like, is this the Saturday? And like, yes, it is. And it would be the brand new stuff, whether it's, they had HR Puffin stuff, all banana splits, all kind of stuff, so
Raggle Rock.
Yeah.
Not really cartoons, but
yeah, I mean, I've never stopped watching cartoons, so I'm pretty familiar with even our current crop, but yeah, I mean, and those ones that came out kind of in between with like Powerpuff Girls and Ren and Stimpy and all that, but pure Saturday morning cartoon goodness, you just couldn't beat it, because I love having the choice of being able to watch things whenever we want to nowadays. But there's something about, I've got to be home at 10 o'clock and I will be able to see this cartoon, and in the morning, or waking up and being able to do that, have your breakfast, and they would stop pretty early in the afternoon, so it wouldn't take you on past lunch or anything. But just that little shot of goodness there, and also that they were married to comic books, because they would show you what's coming up. The first word would be from the back of the comic books.
I totally forgot about that. Welcome to what? I am Hello Host. Someone that's maybe not English's first language. We're super happy to have you. I hope that you are enjoying this programming. Unfortunately, it's the end of our show today. You can catch us again next week, same time, same place. Hit that subscribe button and it will never miss the beginning of a show, because it'll let you know. Make sure to hit up the Kickstarter that's going on right now for Stabbity Bunny, so you can read issue 12 first and get access to all of those cool things like the
That's 2 B's, 1 T. You can't miss it.
That's right.
Stabbity Bunny.
And there's a link. And thank you so much. I'm so glad that I got to hang out with you today, and I miss you like crazy, and eventually we'll get big hugs in person.
Yeah, I look forward to it, Jen. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, have me back. I'll gladly step in for James, or just show up without James. Who knows?
You do fit the format of having a mustache, which I need to work on.
Well, it might be a while, but But you know, I think you just wear your mustache in your soul. That's all.
Right. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate you. Remember to subscribe to the experience, and we'll see you guys next time for Mustache You Question. Bye, y'all.